Hello everyone, this is Icarus. I am back after a few months with another Know Your GD mod. You're probably wondering where I've been, and to be honest, I've just been not motivated to do these because lack of guests, but luckily I got one today. This person has been one of the most um, prominent names in the community for moderator status for quite some time. People have been saying this man should be moderator, and well, he's the most recent moderator, unless I missed something, but I don't think I did. So, Raivolt, how are you doing? Did I say that right?
Yep, you said it right.
All right.
I'm doing pretty good. Back from college just for the weekend, so I get to chill. I have access to my setup, so I can kind of get back to doing some things. But yeah, doing pretty good overall.
That's good. That's good. So, we'll just start off with everyone's favorite question. How did you get into GD?
All right. So the first time I ever saw the game was in, I believe, fifth grade. It was like, yeah, it was probably around like September or something of 2013. I saw some kids playing it. I didn't obviously know what the game was. Like I kind of like asked them, but I didn't really like think to get it because I just thought it was like, didn't interest me. And then kind of around towards the summer of 2014, I was hanging out with a good friend of mine, and I saw him playing it, and he's like, "No, you should totally get it." Like kind of like convinced me to buy it. So I ended up buying it. It was like in 1.7 pretty much is when I actually got the game. But I didn't do much with the game until around early 2.0, like very early 2.0, because I saw another friend of mine play it. And yeah, it's pretty much just like seeing friends that I had play the game.
Oh,
And yeah, pretty much around seventh grade is when I started taking the game a little more seriously. But
nice.
yeah.
Nice. So, I'm assuming around that time you found out about the community, or did you find out about like the whole Discord community later on?
Um, so I was a little bit active in Twitch in 2.0. I didn't really do anything Discord related because I didn't get Discord until like 2018. That's when I started like getting into the actual like GD community with that sort of stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I was just in Twitch until then.
Oh, nice, nice. And what made you stick with the games, the Geometry Dash game? Did I just say the Geometry Dash game? Of course it's Geometry Dash, but what made you stick with the game opposed to like other games that you might have quit? Because I know a lot of people in Geometry Dash they've stuck with it for a long time.
So, for the most part, or at least up until recently, I just liked playing levels. Because, like, while I did create some stuff, like, when I first got back into the game, I kind of got, like, bored of it. But I always loved playing levels because I had some friends in high school who also played the game. So we'd always just kind of, like, race on demons just so you could be, like, the hardest ones. So I felt like they were a pretty good motivator for that. And then eventually, once I kind of got more, like, accustomed to, like, the community, like, within Discord and stuff, just being able to talk to people there and kind of just chat with them, I guess. I thought that was pretty nice. So it's kind of like a couple different things. But like more recently, now that I've like kind of with more with creating, I do more with playing. I just have like a whole lot of different things that I do now that's kind of just kept me going because I do like being more involved with the community. I think it's really nice to help people out and just kind of just see what everybody's doing. It's really nice seeing the community evolve.
Oh yeah, for sure. You joined the community a bit before I did, but so I was. Oh man, where'd my question? So, for the editor, what made you initially start building? What drew you into the editor? Because I know you've created some levels, and all of them are bangers in my opinion.
Thank you. So the first, well, when I first started playing, like initially, it was just because I saw my friend do some stuff with the editor, so I was like, all right, I can do some stuff there. And then I don't know, that didn't really go anywhere. But once I got back into creating around like 2.0, there were like a couple creators that I liked, like Sir Punch, Toe Martin, uh, and Desticy. I liked their styles a lot, so I was like, maybe I could create some really good levels too. So I tried going like a simpler route with stuff. I tried some like theming for everything, and well, I wasn't initially successful. I still had a lot of fun with it, and then kind of later on, it's kind of like the same thing. I was like, these creators are cool. Maybe I could do something like they did. And then eventually, I kind of started figuring out what sort of style I liked, and I don't know, it was just kind of nice. It was just kind of like putting my own like take on a creator's style and just seeing how that went. That's kind of what I did for most of my creating experience.
That's cool. So for like you said, you've been playing since 1.7, and I know people evolve in their building style over time. Would you say there was like a specific moment in time where you're like, oh, I actually know how to build now? Because like a couple years ago, I had that moment with one of my levels where I was like, hey, I'm actually not too bad at building. I can experiment around some more and like actually make good stuff. Did you ever have like that sort of moment or
So that happened around like May of 2020. It was basically when I started developing or creating Torsion, where I kind of looked at more of like Euron's like license, like that sort of style, where it's like kind of like an older design like style, but kind of like it's like a little more like I don't know how to explain like what their like design
like
really
a
is.
classic
But basically, I
design?
was just kind of like it's like more like that, but they do kind of like incorporate some like cool like flashy effects and stuff just to make it seem a bit more like modern, but it still kind of retains that older feel. And that's always a style I've loved. Like even with like Heinz and Vlak, I was like, all their styles are awesome. So I was like, what if I tried to do that? And then eventually I kind of realized I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually like doing this. It's not like beforehand it'd be like, I'll just use one block type. And I don't know, I just didn't really try anything above that. But once I started like combining a lot of different things together, I was like, I'm actually like kind of going somewhere with this. And then after getting like feedback from people I knew in the community, it definitely helped me a lot just to like know that what I was doing was well, I was like on the right track and everything. So I guess that was kind of like my like just like oh my gosh, like I can actually create something. Just that kind of moment. But yeah, just around there.
That's cool. Were there any like important people that helped you along the way with building? Because I know I have a couple friends that with like without them, I would nowhere be nowhere where I am with creating today. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, there are two main ones. I would say Osk and iFuse were probably the two people that helped me because they always watched me build my levels back in like 2020 and like early 2021 when I was more active in like Osk server. And they helped me a lot, just like giving me lots of tips and just kind of like showing me what to do. And yeah, I would say without them, I don't really think I would be anywhere else
That's very
because they
cool.
definitely helped me out the most with everything.
Yeah,
So I
Osk has
really
helped
have
me out a
to
lot
give him a big
too.
thanks.
Yeah, Osk is very helpful. I don't know I fuse that well, but he sounds like a nice guy for sure.
We love iFuse.
And oh man, what did you say? Your mic just cut out a little bit for me.
Oh, I was just saying, I was like, we love iFuse. That's all I said.
Banger! Shout out iFuse. All right, we're gonna give you one more creator like question in the creators section before we move on to your standards. So, for future projects, what should we expect from your levels?
Um, that's honestly a good question. I'm trying to branch out a little bit more, maybe with kind of like more like flashy type stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm currently working on a level for the Discord Gauntlet. I don't know how well it's gonna go. But I'm gonna try to go for my like a disco like flashy themed level while still kind of like retaining more of like my older type style design. I'm gonna see how well I can make that work out. Although I'm just not sure how well it's gonna go, but I kind of want to make it stand out a little bit more amongst like other creator styles from like that group that I liked. So I'm gonna try to like branch out more from them.
Well, that should be good.
So
I'm
I guess I'll
excited
see how
for
that
that.
goes. Yeah, thank you. I'm excited for it. I'm just a little nervous that I might not uh do as good as I hope. But at the same time, it's great for fun. But I still want to try to make something more recognizable, if that makes sense.
For sure, for sure. I feel your nervousness on the Discord gauntlet when I can't even think of an ideas yet, and so I'm just like, might as well step aside from this gauntlet, maybe build in the next one because I have no ideas for this one.
Oh no, that's totally fair. I don't blame you.
Yeah, because like two modes, I'm just like, how am I gonna do this? Building two levels at once in the same level, but
Yeah, and it's like with the object constraint, it's just like how well can you do it?
for sure.
Like It's a lot to think about. But
Def-
yeah.
definitely, definitely. So now we're gonna move on to your standards or some questions, sort of like in that area for like what you like in levels and stuff. So I guess we'll start off with probably my favorite question to ask. Do you prefer gameplay or designs more?
I would say gameplay mainly because here's the thing. If maybe like the designs aren't like in my opinion up to like a certain standard, if like the gameplay is good enough, I'll probably be more like lenient towards it because you're meant to play the level. Like if you don't run into like any issues with the gameplay, then that's honestly good enough for me as long as the designs like actually hold up well. Like I'm not saying the designs aren't important, but I'm saying that gameplay can really influence like my thoughts on a level. Like you can have some like really stellar levels, but if they are like super buggy or anything, I'm not gonna like it at all because I don't care how good your level is. If it does not play well, I'm just not gonna like it. That's the thing. I feel like gameplay definitely has like a very or it should have more of an impact on, I guess, a rating in my opinion. Just because, again, like I feel like they should be more like balanced, but I still value gameplay just like a little bit more. Just because, again, I feel like if you have bad gameplay, it can just totally ruin a level.
For sure.
That's kind of just like the main thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
I agree with you completely on that. Because, well, obviously I kind of have to because my designs are kind of lacking, but we don't talk about that. But gameplay's good. But, what was I going to say? So, for when you're sending levels, there's obviously things you like and you don't like. What is something you would like to see less of in featured levels or just levels in general?
I feel like they see less of. That's a good question.
Or you see
I'm
too much
honestly
of it?
like I'm a little unsure because there's not like a common like theme that I see in levels that I like really dislike. That's kind of the issue. It's there's not something that I see like super often that I just dislike just outright. That's just kind of my main issue. I do feel like I do see like gameplay that doesn't work as well more often that I have seen in like previous like times, I guess. But that's pretty much the only issue I've seen is I feel like gameplay at times just does not hold up well for a lot of levels that get rated.
Like it doesn't match the energy of the song or it just isn't good?
It's just like sometimes there's like poor transition work. A lot of, like I see that quite a bit with collabs. Like that's an issue. Just kind of like I don't know. It's just stuff like that. It's just like you have like some iffy transitions sometimes. Just like I don't know. I guess it's just more with collabs. Again, I'm like kind of like almost nitpicking here because I really don't see a common trope that a lot of levels do that I really don't like. I'm not really super picky with what I dislike in levels.
That's fair.
So I'm not. So I don't know if that's like. I don't know. I wish I could give a better answer, but the thing is just I really don't see anything all the time that I just outright dislike.
That's fair.
So I apologize for
No,
that.
don't
But
worry, because
yeah,
this is a good lead up for the next question. What do you want to see more of in levels?
um, I would like to see better song representation. That's definitely something I feel like a lot of levels kind of lack in, like making or like kind of lack with is just making. You need to make like your effects, your movements, like just everything like match well with the songs. I've seen like some levels that have like really energetic songs, but the level just doesn't feel lively at all. And it's just like, yeah, like it could play well. The designs could look nice, but if it just feels more static, then it just kind of gives out the more boring feeling. And it's just like if you just put a little more effort into making sure like everything just worked well with the song again, just like making it feel more upbeat at obviously at the lively parts like in the drop, or making it feel like more calm and just kind of like just calmer like well calmer parts. I don't know. I just feel like some levels just don't seem to really match the intensity of the song that well. I guess that's kind of like my big thing. Or also for like certain notes, like sometimes on like I feel like on like bigger notes of levels, you could make some like more grand effects. I've seen it at times where like let's say you have like a laser effect when you hit an orb. I feel like you can make like a more like grand or like bigger effect, like on kind of like the last note of it. Like I'm not sure if I'm like explaining it well. It's just kind of like certain things
No, no, it
that I
makes
feel like
sense.
could be done better just to make sure the level fits well better with the song. Again, it's like representing the intensity.
Yeah,
I guess it's just the main thing that I'd like to see more.
yeah, for sure. I completely get that. Because, you know, some people match the energy super well, but then others are just like, there's a drop, but we're at like 1 time speed. What are we doing here? You know? So,
Exactly. Yeah. It's just kind of like I don't see where you're going with this just because it doesn't make sense. I don't know. It's just if it's going to be fast, you want to make it fast and it's got to be lively. You can't just let it sit there. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I can't like word my responses well, but
oh, please, have you heard me try to word these questions?
oh no, they're fine. Don't worry. I understand what you're asking. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
It's all
good, good.
good.
All right, and that's it for Geometry Dash questions. Now, this is not know your GD standards. This is know your GD mods. So, like, outside of Geometry Dash, what kind of hobbies do you have?
um, well, at college, I do like tennis. I'm trying to get like intramural tennis because I know that starts up soon. I like that. With my friends, sometimes we'll go like rock climbing
Ooh, that's
if we're
fun.
doing like any like other types of activities. But if we're kind of like in our dorm or hall, we'll play like poker, any sort of card games, or just do anything else. And I guess for like more video game related stuff, I pretty much just play like Terraria or sometimes just like Jackbox with
Oh,
friends.
Jackbox is great.
Yeah, Jackbox is awesome. I
Which,
love
which
Jackbox
Jackbox?
nights.
Which one do you like the best? I like Quiplash.
Quiplash is awesome. I love Quiplash. Survive the Internet's pretty good. I like that one a lot. And then I say Trivia Murder Party is also definitely one of my favorites. I love that.
Oh yeah, Trivia Murder Party. I love that one too. That one's fun. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up with the questions. Is there anyone you want to shout out? You want your socials? Anything like that?
um, I think I'm all good. I don't know. I mean, I don't really do a whole lot with my socials, so I think I'm all good for that. But I appreciate it.
Fair enough. I'll put them in the
Yeah.
description anyway, just because.
All right.
I'll
Thank
put your
you. Thank
server.
you.
That's a good one.
That's true. I could. That'd be pretty nice.
Well,
But yeah. Thank you.
yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on. Thank you for being like my first guest in a few months. I really needed that. But
Yeah, of course, no problem. It
yeah.
was very nice. I
Well,
enjoyed it.
yeah, no problem. And to the audience, thank you so much for watching. Sorry I haven't done these in a while. It's just a couple moderators that I'm not going to say the names of said, "Sure, I'll come on," and then just never did. So, other
Maybe
than
they're
that,
like busy or something. You
yeah,
can't blame them.
busy for a whole year, but it's all good.
Oh. Mm.
No shade. Everyone has their own things going on, but I'm back, greater than ever, sort of. But thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next one.